Hello and welcome to Mollie's Motif. This is Emily, and this week I am really excited to be a guest designer over at Craft and Desert Divas. And Tara had asked me to be a guest designer before the design team was created over at Craft and Desert Divas, and I am a member of that design team now too, so I'm really excited to be working with this challenge blog and this crafting blog because it's just amazing. So the challenge that is going on this week is anything autumn, and I love fall. I love the fall colors. I love the change in the weather. I love it. And so I was really excited to be able to put this card together, and I was extra excited because I follow Teresa, the scrapbooking queen, on Facebook, and a few weeks ago she had posted this Doodlebug design paper pack for the autumn, and I just fell in love with it. I had to have it, and so it was the first time I'd ever ordered from her, and it was slicker than slick. I just went on there, and she was so nice, and I was asking her these questions because I'm like, I've never done this before, and she was just so nice and walked me through everything, and I was able to just get this ordered really quick and easy, and it shipped really fast. So I was really excited to give that a try, and it worked out just great. So this is the paper that I'm going to be pulling from, and I just love this paper pack. I love the colors in it. I love the designs. It's double-sided. Just so fun. I just love fall. So that's where my paper is coming from. And I'm going to be pulling from Doodlecharms and Freshly Picked. These are the two cartridges that I'm going to be, I've pulled images from. And Doodlecharms was one of my first cartridges, but there's still so many images that I've never used on this cartridge. So I'm going to be using the apple and the basket on that cartridge. And then I just barely got Freshly Picked. It was on sale for $9.99 over at CricutMachine.com. And so I picked this one up, and this one's really fun. I'm excited to have this one. It just has some really cute garden images, and some of the different functions, creative features are really fun, like seed packets and frames, just fun stuff. So I'm excited to be using the apple tree from this cartridge. So with that, let me just kind of show you what I've come up with. And then Mary over at Cards TV, she's doing a super fun series of different card folds, and I've never done a Z fold or S fold before, so I wanted to give that a try. So this is my card base. So basically you just make an A2 card, and then you just fold over the front flap, just right in half. So that's my base, and you can see it makes the S or the Z, however you want to look at it. So that's my base, and then on the front of my card I'm going to have, this is a really cute paper from that pack, just a lot of cute fall images, and that'll be on my front flap here. And then the inside of my card, I'm going to have this awesome crisscross paper, and then that same paper from the front. So that'll be how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and get this tacked down, and then I'll come back and show you the rest of what I'm going to be doing. It's just kind of hard to show you everything when the papers are loose. So I'm going to get just this part done. Okay, so here's my base card with my mats put down. So that's just kind of how it turned out, and I really like that pop of color when you open up that flap. So here's my base, and then the cuts that I used are from Doodlecharms, page 118. I cut out the apple. I cut a bunch of the borders. I cut 5 borders, 3 at 1 inch and 2 at 3/4 inch. And then I cut the base apple cut, and I believe I cut it at 2 inches. So I've got a bunch of apples cut out. And then I also cut out this basket on page 116. Kind of, a bushel of apples, and this is the basket that I cut, and I cut this at 2 3/4, I want to say. So I did cut that out, and I'll just show you the basket real quick. I think it turned out really cute. I used from the Happy Harvest paper pack that I got, there was kind of this woven, you know, design, and I thought that looked really cute for the basket. So I don't know if you can see it at all, but it's really cute. And then I had some brads from the Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby that I poked through the holes, because the cut does actually cut holes for you. And so I just put brads through there to, you know, give it a little bit more dimension, and I really like how that turned out. And so that basket is going to go right on the center of my card on the front. And then I'm filling my basket up with these apples. So here are the two borders that I cut at 3/4, and you will notice that one of my borders only has 2 apples, and that's just because I snipped off the end, because I didn't need that third apple on there. So I'm going to be putting these apples in my basket, and I'll get those adhered, and they will be right on the front. So that's kind of how that's going to go. And then the rest of the apple borders that I cut out, I'm going to have one border going on the bottom, on the front flap, and then the rest of the apple border will be on the inside, on the base. And again, I went ahead and just snipped off that third apple because I didn't need it to fit on here. So that's kind of how that will go. So I'll have the basket on the front. See if I can get this so you can kind of see what's going on. So I'll have the apple on the front with the basket, or the basket with all the apples, and then my borders will go along the bottom. And then when you open it up, I'm going to have the cute little apple tree that I cut out from Freshly Picked, and that'll be right here so that when the front is closed you can't see it. And then my big apple that I cut out will just go on this side right here, on the inside. So that's kind of how that's going to work. So I'll go ahead and get this all put down and adhered, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do as far as my sentiments. So here is my finished card. I've got everything put together. I just used some tape runner to put my apple borders down at the bottom, and then my basket, I used just some glue dots, and of course you only want to adhere half of your image down on these type of cards, otherwise you won't be able to open it. Kind of a no-brainer. And then on the inside, my little tree, I popped up on 1 thickness of foam tape just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then my sentiments, I printed off on my computer. I came up with Got Caramel and Happy Fall. My favorite way to eat apples is with caramel, so I think that's why that came to me. I don't have a lot of stamp sets that have to do with fall, so I had to just kind of improvise and come up with something for the inside, and I just did that on my computer. And I think this would be a fun card to give to a neighbor family with a bag of apples and a bunch of caramels that they can, you know, make caramel apples together. I think that's such a fun fall tradition, one of my favorites. And so this is what I came up with for the guest designer spot over at Craft and Desert Divas. I'm really excited for that opportunity and appreciate that invite. And again, the challenge is anything autumn. So link up your projects that have to do with fall or autumn, and I love to see what everyone comes up with. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I'd appreciate any comments, and we will catch you next time.